Good morning. I'm Mike Reynolds. It's been 21 days since the coordinated global action that authorities are still calling the ZerOdAy incident. For 3 weeks, the mysterious group has remained completely silent while governments and financial institutions have struggled to explain the leaked documents and financial irregularities that surfaced during that unprecedented night. This morning, that silence has been broken in a way no one expected. Sarah Chen joins us now. Sarah, you were there for the original interview. What are you seeing out there? Sarah Chen. On location outside Federal Reserve Building. Mike, I'm standing where this all began 3 weeks ago, and what I'm seeing? It's like they never left, but somehow more organized, more precise. Camera pans across building facade. The zero work symbol, that fractured zero, it's appeared overnight on every major government building, bank headquarters, and corporate office across not just Washington, D.C., but, according to our affiliates, simultaneously in every major city in America. But Mike, this isn't graffiti anymore. These symbols, they appear to be etched directly into the buildings themselves. Laser precise, permanent, and in some cases they're actually glowing. Mike Reynolds? Glowing? What do you mean glowing? Sarah Chen. The symbols on the Goldman Sachs building, the J.P. Morgan headquarters, the Federal Reserve, they're emitting a soft blue light. Our technical team can't explain it. It's like they've been embedded with some kind of technology. Cuts to aerial footage from helicopter. Helicopter. Reporter. From up here, you can see the full scope. Every major financial district looks like a circuit board at night. The symbols form patterns, connecting buildings in geometric shapes that weren't visible from ground level. Back to studio. Mike Reynolds. This comes after what critics are calling the worst 3 weeks of crisis management in corporate history. Let's go to our business correspondent, Janet Wu. Janet Wu. Mike, the silence from ZerOdAy couldn't have come at a worse time for financial leaders. Without the group actively in the headlines, attention turned to the documents they leaked, and executives have been struggling to explain them. Cuts to montage of disastrous CEO interviews. CEO compilation. Bank of America, CEO on CNBC. CNBC host. The leaked internal documents show your bank charged overdraft fees to customers whose accounts were actually positive. BAC CEO. Well, those documents are... The context is, look, banking is complicated. Wells Fargo CEO on Bloomberg. Bloomberg. Host. Your own emails, released by ZerOdAy, show you calling customer savings accounts free money for lending operations. Wells Fargo. CEO. I don't recall that specific email. Can we move on to our quarterly projections? Goldman Sachs. CEO at congressional hearing. Congressman. Mr. Davidson, your trading algorithms, as revealed in the leaked code, appear designed to trigger panic selling in retail investors. Goldman CEO. Congressman, algorithmic trading is highly technical. I'd need my team to... Congressman. Sir, you're the CEO. These are your algorithms. Goldman. CEO. Long pause. I'll have to get back to you on that. Back to studio. Janet Wu. Mike, we've seen a 23% drop in public trust for major financial institutions. 3 CEOs have resigned, and Congress is calling for emergency hearings. Mike Reynolds. And now, ZerOdAy returns just as these institutions are at their most vulnerable. Let's go back to Sarah Chen. Sarah Chen. Mike, I'm now joined by Dr. Rebecca Torres, crisis communications expert. Dr. Torres, from your perspective, how catastrophic has this 3-week period been for corporate leadership? Dr. Torres. Sarah, this is a textbook example of what we call crisis silence backfire. When ZerOdAy went quiet, these executives thought they were safe. They could control the narrative, do damage control. But silence in a crisis is deadly. The public expects transparency, especially when they've seen evidence of wrongdoing. Instead, we got 3 weeks of corporate leaders who clearly hadn't read their own company's documents, couldn't explain their own policies, and seemed genuinely surprised by what their institutions were doing. It's been a masterclass in how not to handle a crisis. Sarah Chen. And now, zero work returns when these leaders are at their weakest. Dr. Torres. It's strategically brilliant, Sarah. They let their opponents defeat themselves through incompetence and silence, and now they return when public trust is at an all-time low. The timing couldn't be more devastating. Alert tone, breaking news. Breaking news. Banner. Zero work. Symbols appear on private residences of bank CEOs. Mike Reynolds. We're getting reports that the symbols have now appeared on the private homes of major financial executives. Janet, what are you hearing? Janet W. Mike, this is unprecedented. The homes of 12 major bank CEOs, hedge fund managers, and Federal Reserve Board members now display the zero work symbol. But these aren't on the walls. They're apparently projected onto the houses from an unknown source. Footage of expensive mansions with glowing symbols. The symbols follow the houses. When executives leave for work, the projection somehow follows their vehicles. It's like they're being tagged by some kind of advanced surveillance system. Mike Reynolds. Are we looking at stalking? Harassment? Janet Yu. That's the strange part, Mike. No one is being threatened or contacted directly. They're just marked, visible. Like the system is saying, we see you. We know who you are. Phone buzzing in studio. Mike Reynolds. I'm getting word that we have an incoming connection. Static, then clear audio. Familiar digitally altered voice. Hello, Mike. Hello, America. Mike Reynolds. Straightening up. Are you zero work? Mysterious voice. We are the signal that never left. We've been watching, listening, learning. For 3 weeks, you've witnessed the spectacle of power trying to explain itself. CEO after CEO, stumbling through interviews about documents they'd never read, policies they'd never questioned, systems they'd never bothered to understand. Sarah Chen, from remote location. Why the silence? Why disappear for 3 weeks? Mysterious voice. Sarah, why do you debug a program? You run it, observe the errors, then correct the code. We let the system run without interference to see how it would respond to exposure. The results exceeded our projections. They defeated themselves more thoroughly than we ever could have. Mike Reynolds. The symbols on the buildings, the private residences. What's the purpose? Mysterious voice. Visibility, Mike. For decades, these institutions have operated in shadows, their true purpose is hidden behind corporate speak and regulatory capture. We've simply made the invisible visible. Every glowing symbol marks a node in the network of extraction. Every marked building is a server in the social factory. Every tagged executive is a debugging target. New footage streaming in from across the country. Field reporter, New York. The symbols here aren't just on Wall Street anymore. They've appeared on private equity firms, pharmaceutical companies, for-profit colleges. Any institution identified in the leaked documents as engaged in what Zero Work calls wealth extraction. Field reporter, Los Angeles. The technology behind these projections is baffling engineers. They seem to be powered by the building's own electrical systems, but no one can locate the actual projection devices. Field reporter, Chicago. What's remarkable is the precision. The symbols only appear on institutions specifically mentioned in the leaked documents. It's like they're running some kind of accountability algorithm. Back to studio. Mike Reynolds. This level of coordination, this technology, who are you really? Mysterious voice. We are the children who discovered that hard work was a lie, sold to keep us productive. We are the programmers who realized the system was designed to extract, not serve. We are the teachers, the nurses, the retail workers who learned that essential meant exploitable. We are everyone who was promised a future and given debt instead. Sarah Chen. From remote. The glowing symbols, the surveillance of executives. Isn't this intimidation? Mysterious voice. Sarah. Is it intimidation when a store puts price tags on items? When restaurants post health inspection grades? When the stock market displays company values? We're simply providing transparency. The executives you've watched fumble through interviews for 3 weeks. They've been operating without accountability for decades. We've given them what they've always lacked: visibility. More breaking news alerts. Breaking news. Federal Reserve announces emergency meeting. Breaking news. Dow Jones drops 800 points. As trading opens. Breaking news. Bitcoin surges 40% in early trading. Janet Wu. Mike, the markets are in complete chaos. Traders are calling this Digital Judgment Day. Mysterious voice. The markets are finally pricing in reality, Janet. For years, they've operated on the fiction that infinite growth was possible, that wealth extraction was sustainable, that the social factory could run indefinitely without maintenance. Today, the algorithm is correcting itself. Mike Reynolds. Are you threatening the entire financial system? Mysterious voice. Mike, we're not threatening the financial system, we're debugging it. The crashes you're seeing? Those are system errors being resolved. The volatility? That's the network finding